Simmons, William, Brian Lara, Arthurton, Hooper, Holder, Brown, Cummings, the wicketkeeper, Junior Murray, Walsh and Cuffey. And as the teams take the pitch here, let's have a look at the Indian side. Sachin Tendulkar, Prabhakar, Sidhu, Azharuddin, the captain, Kamble, Jadeja, Munjia, the wicketkeeper, Kumble, Srinath, Raju and Prasad. Well, as we pick up play, there's been a late start to the game, which means that it will only be over 44 overs. And we'll have 4 bowlers bowling 9 overs each, and 1 will bowl 8 overs. Players are in the middle, and in the commentary box today, Indian cricketing legend Sunil Gavaskar. But first, Tony Cozier.
So there are the first runs of the match. Cameron Cuffey after it, and takes a very bad tumble. The chase was desperate, it was in vain, and in the end it was quite painful.
Yes, Jadeja loves the ball being pitched up to him on the middle and off. We've seen that. And it's a tough job out there with the holding so close to the boundary line. And though Brown got his fingertip to it, wasn't able to stop it.
Never go all the way this time. No need for Cuffey to chase it. Tendulkar really punching that ball down the ground for 4.
But he's in such good form, Sachin Tendulkar, that every time the bowler lapses in length, he is punished. And of course, he has the genius to find the gap. Hit it perfectly straight. With a straight bat, not much of a follow-through. But look at the power behind that shot.
Oh, beautifully placed and timed. Just pushed it for 4. That's a lovely stroke by Jadeja.
It also goes to show how good this wicket is. The ball is coming onto the bat. Of course, the greater pace of the West Indians means the ball will come onto the bat on most wickets. And Jadeja playing it on the up. Barrington Brown is, by West Indian standards, not a tall man. It's the taller people you're worried about getting onto the front foot because they might have that extra bounce. But although the ball is short of a length, Jadeja is on the front foot. He placed it very well.
Well, the runs are flowing. Flicked away off the legs, so 9 runs already in the over.
Well, the man in form, once again, a little lapse in the direction on the leg stump. And Tendulkar onto it in a flash.
And 7 overs gone at 38 without loss. Well, it's 4 runs. I rather suspect that Jadeja is getting confidence from batting with Tendulkar in such good form as well. A lot of bottom hands in that shot, whipping it round.
Cummins started with a bad ball, and that's 2 in a row. Both deliveries drifting into the pad of Jadeja, and as we have said so many times before, these Indian batsmen are very strong on the onside. In the air for quite some time, but no fielder anywhere near to that. That's 4 more. 2 fours in a row.
Sachin Tendulkar, one of the best batsmen in the world, no doubt about that. One-day internationals, over 2,500 runs now. I thought his average might have been a little higher than that, 33.9. It's the average of a mere mortal, and Tendulkar possibly a little better than that. A big appeal, and given out. Jadeja caught by Junior Murray off the bowling of Anderson Cummins. And Cummins appealed immediately, was very confident. The wicketkeeper took it up a little later. Jadeja made no motion to move, and the umpire gave it. Worth having another look at that.
Well, Cummins producing the ball that leaves the right hand. Excellent delivery. Very difficult to say from that shot if the ball did hit the bat. Looked pretty close, but very difficult to say from that shot. This should give you a better idea of what happened. Yes, I think you can definitely see there that there was an edge.
The fall of Jadeja has brought in Navjot Sidhu, as you can see. Just completed 3,000 runs and still an outstanding batting average. Lovely shot by Tendulkar. He really plays them so well when he's hitting them straight back past the bowler. Sign of a batsman in total command.
Beautiful shot again by Tendulkar. Anything that is straying in either line or length is going to be punished.
And once again the ball is past the infield. 4 runs past cover.
Well, Navjot Sidhu playing an excellent shot there. From that picture you could see that it wasn't a half volley. And again from that picture you can see that it's not a half volley, but he played beautifully through the line.
And once again not too far from Brian Lara there in the covers. Keith Arberton rather. Sidhu crashes that ball past point. He really loves to play the shot. And when he plays it, he clobbers the ball rather than caresses it. But the end result is 4 runs. With the cricketing brain that he has, decided to play second fiddle.
Nothing wrong with Sidhu.
As you can see from that stump vision camera, that ball was too well pitched up. There's nobody out at long on or long off, and Sidhu taking full advantage of that.
Carl Hooper to continue. 3 overs costing just the 7 runs. He's been fairly influential in just pulling back the Indian scoring rate, but he won't be if he gives full tosses like that. Stuart Williams, the fielder. High in the air, and the catch taken. Anderson Cummins. A little bit of frustration perhaps creeping into Sachin Tendulkar's play. He hadn't had much of a strike of late. When he got it, this is what happened.
As we all know, when you are away from the strike, when you do get the strike, you tend to play a few shots and take a few more chances than you would take normally. But this is a very good catch here again by Andy Cummins. Keeping his eyes on the ball, catching the ball very high indeed. If it had bounced out, he would have had a second chance to take another grab. India now 137 for 2.
Azharuddin really in magical form at the moment. He's gone past 5,000 runs in one-day internationals. 49-50. 52, in fact. Navjot Singh Sidhu in good form at the moment. "66 deliveries he's taken to get there. Hit 5 fours. Fair to say that not many of the Indian batsmen have found it that easy facing Courtney Walsh throughout the series. But then he hasn't often put it down there. The last ball of the over.
Azharuddin flicked the first ball of the new over and just crossed the line down there for 4. Certainly the shot of a man who's got lots of runs behind him. As he's informed, and look at the way he's placed it. Sidhu's gone in for the big one. He's cleared the line. Six to Sidhu. Tended to pull it a little squarer than he might have liked it to go, but hit hard enough to get 6 in the end. Yes, he was always trying to hit it in that gap between the fielder at long on at deep mid-wicket. Didn't quite get it in the middle of the bat, but it doesn't matter because he's hitting it well. 13 of this over so far. And that's going for some more. 17 of the over. So they're rounding it off with a boundary. And after 37 overs, India have progressed to 193 for 2. Hooper's now gone for 146 runs from his 7 overs. So after us to take a look at what's wrong with Sidhu, and that won't help the West Indies either in terms of time. He's gone for the big one. And he's running back for the second. Certainly ran quickly enough to take advantage of that slight misfield. Won't help his cause if he wants to run very much, anyway. I'll tell you what, most batsmen, if they know that it's their runs coming off their bat, they're going to do everything possible to get there. And Ajay Jadeja padded up, understandably so, because Sachin Tendulkar's obviously pulled rank. Being the white captain, he won't want to go and do a bit of running. If I was Courtney Walsh, I'd wonder how Sidhu took that second run as quickly as he did. Sully slashed at that one. He's going to get 4 runs. That started outside the off stump. And Barrington Brown's troubles have continued. But he is slashing that like his bat were a knife. After 39 overs, it's 212 for 2. Sully turning back quickly enough. It's a good ball. Sully fired in at the right length, and that's going to be great news for him. He's just seen the ball go right through the field of a 4. A good ball. The pitch at the right point. It's all good shot, and in the end, 4 runs. Well, the outfield has got another victim there. Look at the way the ball's bouncing. Found the gap for 4. In fact, for 6. So that's 100 for Sidhu. His 5th Test century. And look at the delight. It's a very expressive person, and isn't he delighted? And what a way to get your 100. The West Indian captain has been the pick of the West Indian bowlers, but even he was not spared. The ball right in the slot for that half full, half drive. And it's a tremendous shot by Sidhu. 100 of 92 deliveries. Look at the way he's just picked it very well. He's not very mobile. He's got a pulled muscle, but he's timed it so well. The scheduled close for the West Indies innings was 28 minutes past 1. And Courtney Walsh has picked up another amazing catch on the edge of the circle there at mid-wicket. For a minute it looked as the ball had passed him, but he simply leapt into the heavens and said, "Thank you very much for the fruit there." The second time he's done it in the series. Excellent catch, and that brings to an end a very, very fine innings from the India captain. Yes, this is one of the few uncricketing shots that Azharuddin has played, and he's paid the penalty for it. He's played authentic cricketing shots and kept the scoreboard ticking for his team, but he paid the price for that agricultural spike. Walsh for Atherton for 45, India 248 for 3. So Vinod Kamble, fresh from that amazing innings at Calcutta, coming into bat with an excellent batting average, 41.5, seems to be going up all the time. The reason he's come out to bat, even though it's so late in the innings, is that he's just crossed his captain on the way back. And that agricultural hike with Walsh looking as if he was fixing a bulb in the ceiling. And Sidhu's getting runs from just about anywhere. It doesn't matter at all. He's got 4 more. Certainly not where he wanted that one to go. Kamble gets into the act, gets back to ball, but I'm afraid he's played it straight down to the fielder. And so after the great show at Calcutta, Kamble, who's had to throw his bat at everything, departs of the first ball that he's faced. Well, that's cricket. It brings you down to earth very quickly. And Kamble, after that tremendous effort in the finals of the World Series, slashing that one straight to the fielder at backward point, Keith Atherton. So end of the innings for Vinod Kamble. Just the one ball, out without scoring, but I don't think too many people will bother about that. This was the last over, of course. And what this means is that the innings is going to go on just a little longer. India 258 for 4. Manoj Prabhakar back in the Indian side, swapping places with Jadeja. 207 50s. I don't think he'll add to that tally today. So last ball coming up. And Sidhu in a lot of pain, as you can see, just tapping the ball for a single. So India ends another excellent batting display. At the end of 44 overs, India 260 for 4. The West Indies, remember, have scored 261 from 43 overs.
After a torrid morning for the West Indian attack, India going on to 260 for 4 of their 44 overs. The West Indies have only got 43 overs in reply because they've had 1 over deducted because of their over rate. So let's find out how they go about it. They need to score at over 6 and over. To find out how they do, let's join Tony Cozier.
He's got it through. Go all the way for 4. So we've had 3 boundaries so far in this West Indies innings. And Simmons very powerful off the back foot. Nice even bounce, nice pace coming onto the bat. And 4 runs, just finding the gap in the field. Stroke Williams on his first tour. The West Indies are now hunting around for
replacement for Desmond Haynes. They had to look for one for Gordon Greenwich, the two of them, of course, a great opening partnership for many years for the West Indies.
Oh, it's a fine blow. An amazing catch by that man out there.
Certainly was a good shot by Stuart Williams. That left leg coming right down the pitch. And well, it's a pity he's beyond the Pepsi sign.
Four more for Stuart Williams, who's taking the opportunity while the fielders are restricted. They've got to stay in the circle until after 14 overs on this occasion, and really making use of the gaps.
Very good pitch for batting. The ball coming onto the bat. Again, that wasn't a half volley by any means. But Stuart Williams just playing through the line.
Imperious. Now, we've seen Stuart Williams several times get off to a good start. Maybe he's going on for the big one today. Pure Caribbean. Good response from Williams. Overs bowled, 50 without loss.
I think the problem with Venkatesh Prasad is that he's trying to do too many things when he's bowling. He's trying to mix the outswinger and then he's trying to get the in-swinger going. And as a result, he's not been able to find the right line and length. And of course, Williams and Simmons pose different problems because of their height.
Well, very clear about what he wanted out of that shot. Williams quickly shortening the length, jumping onto the back foot very quickly indeed, and then pulling that ball around.
Well, there you see he's trying to bowl the outswinger again, but he's pitched it short, and Williams is in real cracking form. He makes just an initial movement across the wicket, waits then for the ball to be delivered, and then moves either back or forward.
But down the wicket on that one. Don't quite time the ball as well as he would have liked to. Went for four, he charged down, long way down the wicket.
Well, I suppose the West Indians at the drinks interval rethought their strategy, and with Kumble bowling his first over so well, they have decided that they have to go after the bowling at the other end, and poor Venkatesh Prasad therefore is bearing the brunt of it.
Certainly a very good knock here by Stuart Williams. As you can see, they're only 55 balls so far.
That ball was certainly kept very, very low. The loud shout for a run out, and there's a third umpire being called into action by Professor Sharma. And look at the agony on Williams' face, making a desperate attempt to get there. And now the tension is going to be on for Stuart Williams.
Well, that certainly was a very close call. I don't think that was a very good call for a single at all. The call came a bit late. Stuart Williams responded late. And well, it's going to be very interesting to have a look at it. Well, he's out a long way.
Yes, he is, and I'm afraid that's bad news for Williams.
As we said before, that certainly wasn't a run. There was no run there. And Williams, unfortunately, has to go. That's the red light. which means out.
So he had to ask his partner if that was out, and his partner had to give him the bad news. I'm afraid that is the end of what, to my mind, has been a very good innings at the top of the order for the West Indies.
There's definitely no doubt about that. As a road in the fielder, the stumps are broken, and that bat is a full meter outside the crease. So Williams departs. West Indies now 87 for 1.
So Brian Lara is the new man in. Certainly, he couldn't ask for a better wicket than this one to score runs and add to that already hugely impressive record, which we've never tired of telling you on this telecast. It's really up to him to get it all going for the West Indies.
And that's gone away for 4. Very difficult for the field out there to pick it up. We've seen it more than once during the course of the day, where a fielder on that boundary just has not moved because he hasn't seen the ball against the background.
I saw it happen quite a few times when the West Indies were fielding, and now it has happened again. Prasad, who's the man that has been placed out on that point boundary, just didn't quite see it.
Well, that's a mighty hit. That's gone way out of the ground. That is a power hit by Phil Simmons. He really has put everything into it.
The Tendulkar can't afford to bowl those slow deliveries and pitch them up as close to the batsman as that on this surface. But Simmons is on 49. Just one for that half century.
That's his 50. Well played, Phil Simmons. He's offering the second run. Lara suggested the second, but Simmons not coming for it. He has the strike. He's 50. 15th in one-day internationals. Been a very responsible innings by Phil Simmons. And now he's just giving himself the start here where he can help guide the West Indies even further on. They're 134 for 1.
Delicate little touch by Lara. Incredible that he got as much run on the ball as that, and he goes for 4. Vinod Kambli trying to drag it back. I think in the end he kicked it over the line himself. Hold him! Tendulkar strikes again. And that's exactly how he did it.
Well, the golden boy with the wonder arm or the wonder boy with the golden arm? Whatever, Sachin Tendulkar has once again justified the faith Mohammad Azharuddin has in him by getting the crucial wicket of Phil Simmons, getting the ball to duck back in ever so little between the bat and pad, and Simmons is gone. West Indies 146 for 2.
Even the ball boys having trouble with the fielding.
Well, he's picked that gap up so well. There is a fielder at deep mid-wicket and there's a fielder at deep square. But Carl Hooper has hit the ball right between those two fielders.
There haven't been too many tight finishes in this series of matches that the two sides have played against one another.
Very easy 4 runs for Carl Hooper. Well, once again, Carl Hooper picking the spot and then just going and hitting exactly where he picked the spot. And only when a batsman is in the kind of form Carl Hooper is in that he can do that.
Well, Raju, it's something to think about. As has Cambley.
Well, as I said, this kind of an outfield does not encourage people to dive or slide.
So he's gone for a big run. That's an ugly shot. With a man under it, he's taken it, Raju. And that's one wicket the West Indies didn't want to lose. And Lara looking good, and all of a sudden playing a shot totally out of character.
Well, I'd like to think that Manoj Prabhakar deceived him with that slow one. And Manoj going wide of the wicket and bowling that slower one in certainly deceived Lara into going for a shot over mid-wicket. He only top-edged it. And Venkatpati Raju making up for that expensive over with that catch. West Indians have lost Lara, and they're 179 for 3.
And the man who's come in at the fall of Lara's wicket is Keith Atherton. Bit of a mixed tour so far. He's played some crucial innings, most notably at Kanpur in the crucial game against India, where he scored 72 from just 63 balls and helped his team at 89 in the last 10 overs. That's what they need now. I'm afraid is not quite getting hold of the ball, but he's still managing to hit it past the line. He came down the wicket to this one and really crashed at that, but he still got 4.
And still, as you said, Arthur, not very well timed at all. That ball peeling off the outer half of the bat.
He's gone for a good catch by Azharuddin. Lara slashed at that, really like a knife going through fruit. Atherton rather, and put it straight down to the fielder. So the West Indies have lost a wicket. Always on the cards, I guess, when you've got to go after every ball, but this is one they didn't want to lose at this stage.
And as usual, that man Azharuddin being involved. Full toss, sliced away on the outside. Azharuddin taking a very good catch. So West Indies lose the services of Keith Atherton. They are now 203 for 4.
Well, Michael, Andy Cummins seems to be getting quite familiar with the number 6 slot. He seems to be coming in this kind of situation virtually every time. Bit of a demand on him, but I think all he's got to do now is to get Carl Hooper back as quickly as possible to the strike. Tremendous blow by Carl Hooper. The West Indies needs more of those at the moment. The danger, of course, when Prabhakar is pitching it up is that if he pitches you marginally shorter, loses just a bit of control, that's what we're going to see.
Well, that was a bad ball from Prabhakar. That wasn't marginally short. That was a ball that was of length. And that is not where you should be bowling at this stage of the game.
Whipped away by Carl Hooper. This is the over the West Indies are waiting for a long time, I'm sure. 10 of the first 2. And Prabhakar has erred in length twice.
Well, on this occasion, he has tried to go right up on Carl Hooper, coming inside his stumps there and sticking away on the onside. There's no fine leg at the moment for Prabhakar, because he had been bowling right up to the bat, so they had to drop the mid-on and the mid-off right back to long-on and long-off. So there's no fine leg. The man that used to be at fine leg is inside the circle at short fine leg.
Well, they're going for the second. They'll have to hurry, and he's given him out. There never really was a second run on that one because Camble had already gathered the ball down there at long off. And the West Indies have sacrificed Andy Cummins.
Sacrifice is right. There certainly was not 2 runs there at any stage. The ball didn't go a long way away from Camble. Came around, picked it up, had it in his hand before they had turned. And once he threw back the ball properly, he knew he was going to be out. And he's out a long way.
So West Indies losing their 5th wicket at 216. Cummins run out for just 2. Four more to Carl Hooper. Not too far from the fielder there at fine leg, but it's the end that matters.
That was in the air, a full toss again. That man inside the circle, Srinath, because there's no fine leg. Just evading him on 4 more.
West Indies might have lost a wicket, but they've got 16 from the over so far. They needed 11. They got a bit of an insurance for the next one. And he's gone. You can't keep Azharuddin out of the picture. He went for the shot. Prabhakar gets another wicket. I'm afraid this is not the best cricket from the West Indies. They've got 16 of the over. They really just needed to keep it going. Roland Holder thought Azharuddin bowled Prabhakar.
Sliding off the half of the bat, straight to Azharuddin. Almost in a gully position, Azharuddin. He always using those square positions, and he's very good. So Roland Holder departs. It's 221 for 6.
So Courtney bowls at highest 30 at Calcutta. Totally entertaining innings, but he's got to do a little more than that today. Needs to stay with Hooper while important runs are needed. Come as the man, they say. Courtney bowls just come out ahead of Junior Murray. Very interesting. This boundary is much smaller than the one at the Inn Gardens, where he hit 3 out of the park, as you say. He's got a slightly quicker man, and that's exactly what Carl Hooper wanted. He wanted it pitched up nicely on that leg side to pick the gap at square leg, and Srinath gave him a nice little present. 50 to Carl Hooper. Excellent innings.
To his name, but I don't think Carl Hooper would be thinking about that really, although it came that quickly after the 3 balls. He must be pleased, but I don't think he'll be thinking about that at all. His sights well set on the target of 261 runs, and unless he gets there, he won't be satisfied.
He's bowled in. Top fly bowling by Camble. Knew exactly what the batsman was attempting and gave him the perfect delivery.
That's the right type of bowling at this stage of the game. Right up in the block hole, right in line with the stumps. If the batsman misses, you have got to hit. You can't afford to give him 2 bites at the cherry. You have got to be going back to the pavilion if he misses. It's 231 for 7.
Junior Murray would have preferred to have had a somewhat less tense situation for his first innings of the tour. And Visakhapatnam emulating what they would have seen on their TV screens on Saturday night at Eden Gardens. That's a huge one. That's gone for 6. Mighty. That is an exceptional blow by Carl Hooper. It's gone all the way up among the crowd in the top tier of that stand. That is a huge blow.
And that happens when you are trying to get right up in the block hole and don't quite manage to get up there.
Sun just setting there in the west, and there's a little bit of
overcast in front of it, so the light isn't as it was early in the day. But Carl Hooper is seeing this ball pretty big now, and the West Indies are fully dependent on him. 12 balls remaining. Here's Srinath with over number 42. He's got that one away. That's 4. He's reduced the target with that boundary. So it means that the only way the West Indies can win this match now is for Carl Hooper to hit a 6 and a 4, or for Manoj Prabhakar to risk being lynched by this crowd and deliver a no ball on the wide. That's it. India will win the game. Just the one ball left for this match, and there's no stroke in cricket yet decreed legal by the International Cricket Council that can earn a 7. Of course, there is the possibility that the West Indies can tie the game. There is a 6 needed, and if Carl Hooper can hit this ball for a 6, the match will end in a tie. Here it is. He doesn't. India win the match and go into a 2-1 lead in the Pepsi series. But what an exciting game we have had. And in the end, that 1 over that the West Indies had deducted from their allotment of 44 because of the slowness of the over rate has virtually cost them the match.
And that man in the middle of your picture, Azharuddin, certainly has done a lot for his team, both with the bat and in the field. He has taken some good catches, stopped a few runs that could quite so easily have been had to other fielders. And as we know in this one-day game, every run counts. He certainly has saved a few, and that could have been the difference.
So a victory for India by 4 runs sets off the fireworks here in Visakhapatnam. India 260 for 4. We had a late start because of the fact that the West Indies baggage didn't arrive in Visakhapatnam from Madras until this morning, and the match was reduced to 44 overs an innings, and India, once again, their batsmen proving what tremendous form they're in, and Navjot Sidhu leading the way with that unbeaten 115 off just 100 deliveries with 9 4s and 2 6s. West Indies really struggled with the ball on an ideal batting pitch, on a somewhat bumpy outfield, and everyone was roughly treated. In fact, Courtney Walsh was obliged to use 7 bowlers, and only Cuffy of those bowlers managed, and Simmons managed to keep it below 5 and over. It left the West Indies with a huge target, which was compounded by the fact that 1 over was deducted from their allotment because of their slow over rate. And that, in the end, proved crucial as they fell 4 runs short with Carl Hooper's 74 of 47 deliveries. Almost led them to victory.
But almost is